Vincent Hale, a wealthy CEO, stands before Judge Frank Caprio, a man used to buying everything in his life results. Respect. Silence now stands in a courtroom where his money means nothing. From the moment he walks in, shoulders back, wearing a $10,000 suit and an expression carved out of arrogance. It's clear he didn't come here to face consequences. He came expecting to avoid them. He rests one hand casually on the podium, like he's at a business meeting he intends to dominate. But Judge Frank Caprio is watching him with calm, patient eyes, the kind that have seen every excuse, every attitude, every trick. And Vincent Hale's trick is the oldest one in the book. He thinks wealth can rewrite the law. It's 10:14 a.m. when the clerk reads the case. The state of Rhode Island versus Vincent Hale. Charges: reckless driving, failure to yield, ignoring pedestrian right-of-way, and to prior ignored citations. Vincent barely reacts. He lifts his chin, glances around the courtroom with boredom, then flashes a polite, empty smile at the judge. "Good morning, Judge." Judge Caprio nods. "Good morning, Mr. Hale." Vincent gives a soft, dismissive sigh. "Let's make this quick. I have a full schedule today." Caprio raises a brow. "We'll take the time necessary to handle the matter properly." Vincent forces a tired smile. "Of course, but I assume we can come to some practical resolution." The tone of a man used to shortcuts. Caprio opens the file. "Mr. Hale, according to the report, you were clocked at 78 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour pedestrian zone." Vincent nods like he's confirming a room service order. "Correct. I was late for a meeting," Caprio continues. "Were you aware a mother with a stroller was in the crosswalk at that moment?" "I didn't hit anyone." A whisper moves through the courtroom. Caprio lowers his glasses. "That's not a defense." Vincent shrugs. "No harm, no foul." Caprio reads another line. "The mother was forced to physically yank her stroller backward to avoid being struck. Parents panic," Vincent replies, waving a dismissive hand. "She probably exaggerated." The courtroom stiffens. Caprio closes the file slowly. "Mr. Hale, do you believe traffic laws apply to you?" "Judge," he says with a smooth laugh, "they apply to everyone. But realistically, someone like me doesn't exactly have the luxury to drive like everyone else. I have responsibilities, a company to run, thousands of employees depending on me. And because of that, you're allowed to endanger pedestrians." Vincent smirks. "Endanger? I have excellent reflexes. I was completely in control." Caprio leans back. "You were going 78 miles per hour past a woman and her baby." Vincent gives a bored shrug. "Look, Judge, let's not turn this into a moral lecture. I respect your time, and I'm sure you have a docket full of real cases today." He reaches calmly into his briefcase. The courtroom shifts, eyes widen. Slowly, deliberately, Vincent's side places a leather checkbook on the podium, then a pen. He slides both forward with polished confidence. "Name your price." The room freezes. Caprio does not blink. Vincent continues, tone smooth as marble. "Let's not waste time. I'm willing to be reasonable." Silence sharp and electric spreads across the courtroom. Caprio finally speaks. "Mr. Hale, are you attempting to buy your way out of responsibility?" Vincent gives a light chuckle. "No, compensate. Solve the issue efficiently. Isn't that what courts want? Resolution." Caprio glances at the clerk. "Miss Gable, note for the record. The defendant has placed his checkbook on the podium and offered to pay whatever price is necessary to avoid consequences." Vincent sighs, annoyed. "Judge, don't dramatize this. I'm offering a solution that works for everyone." Caprio's tone sharpens. "Everyone, or just you?" Vincent gives a confident smile, the kind crafted in boardrooms. "Judge, I'm not the average person who walks in here. My time matters. So let's calculate the fines. I'll write the check, and we'll be done." Caprio studies him quietly. "Mr. Hale, do you think you deserve different treatment because you have money?" Vincent doesn't hesitate. "Of course." Gasps ripple through the courtroom. Vincent shrugs again. "I'm being honest. Efficiency matters. If writing a check gets us all out of here faster, why pretend otherwise?" Caprio folds his hands. "Mr. Hale, in my courtroom, your money does not rank above the law." "Then what does it take?" Vincent asks. "I don't want your check," Caprio replies. Vincent stiffens. "Then what do you want?" Caprio closes the file slowly. "Accountability." Vincent narrows his eyes. "Judge, be reasonable." "I am," Caprio says. "You're the one who's not understanding your situation." "What situation?" Vincent challenges. Caprio leans forward, voice lowering. "You're no longer here for speeding. You're here because you tried to buy a courtroom." The color drains from Vincent's face. "Judge, I think you're misreading." "No," Caprio interrupts. "I think you're miscalculating, Judge. Let's just settle the fines." "We will," Caprio says, "after we review every piece of evidence." He nods to the clerk. "Miss Gable, play the traffic camera video." The entire courtroom turns toward the screen as Vincent's sports car appears blurring across the frame. The mother steps into the crosswalk. He flies past her so close her hair lifts from the force. The stroller jerks back violently. Her expression is pure terror. The video ends. Vincent sighs. "Judge, you're blowing this out of proportion." Caprio looks at him. "Mr. Hale, you came within 3 feet of killing a child." "But I didn't." Caprio's voice hardens. "And that's your defense?" I didn't kill anyone. Vincent shrugs. Accidents happen. Caprio finally sets the file aside. Mr. Hale, today, you will learn the one thing your wealth has prevented you from learning. Vincent lifts his chin. And what's that? Caprio looks directly into his eyes. That justice, he says, is not for sale. The courtroom is silent, so silent you can hear the faint hum of the ceiling lights. Vincent Hale shifts slightly, adjusting his expensive suit, trying to reclaim the confidence slipping through his fingers. Judge Caprio folds his hands again, calm but carrying a weight that fills the entire room. Mr. Hale, Caprio says, you told me everything has a number. Let me tell you what doesn't. Vincent smirks, trying to recover his arrogance. Judge, I'm sure you're about to give me a speech. Spare me the theatrics. Just tell me the consequence so I can triple the amount and move on with my day. Caprio tilts his head. Triple. Vincent nods confidently. Whatever the fine is, consider it handled. Consider this whole situation handled. He taps his pen on the checkbook. Just tell me the price. Caprio lifts the case file. The price, he repeats slowly. You want to know the price? Vincent leans in slightly. Finally, yes. Caprio opens the file. Mr. Hale, I'm going to read something to you. It's a statement from the mother pushing the stroller. She filed it after she learned this case was going to trial. He begins reading. I don't know the man who almost hit me, but I saw his face. He looked angry, not scared. Like I was in his way, like my baby didn't matter. I watched my stroller shake from the wind of his car. My knees gave out. I sat on the curb crying for 10 minutes because I realized my child could have died. The courtroom is frozen. Caprio continues reading. He didn't stop. He didn't check on us. He didn't even slow down. Whoever he is, he shouldn't be allowed behind the wheel again until he understands what a life is worth. Caprio lowers the paper. Vincent exhales loudly, dismissively. Look, she's exaggerating. No one got hurt. People are dramatic. Caprio looks at him sharply. Do you have children, Mr. Hale? Vincent scoffs. Children? No. I barely have time for myself. Exactly, Caprio replies. You don't have children. And because of that, you have no idea what it means to push a stroller and watch a car blast past you close enough to lift it off the ground. Vincent shrugs. If she would have stayed on the sidewalk. None of this. Caprio slams his hand on the bench, making the wood crack. The courtroom jumps. Mr. Hale, do not blame a mother for your recklessness. Vincent freezes. The judge rarely raises his voice, but when he does, the room stops breathing. Caprio leans forward. You want to talk about prices? Let me tell you the price of that mother's terror. Let me tell you the price of almost killing a child. Vincent interrupts. Again, Judge, enough with the emotional stuff. I'm telling you, I can fix this. Let's not waste. Caprio cuts him off. Waste. Let me tell you what wasting looks like. He signals to the bailiff. Bring up the extended footage. The screen changes. This time, a second angle appears from a store camera across the street. The footage shows the stroller wobbling violently, the mother stumbling backward, the baby crying. The courtroom watches in pained silence. Caprio speaks slowly. This is what you call wasting time. This is what you call nothing happened. Vincent's jaw tightens a little. A flicker of discomfort, but arrogance pushes it down. Judge, he says, all of this is unnecessary. Just give me the fine. I'll even donate to whatever program you want. Youth centers, homeless shelters, police departments. Just tell me the cause. Caprio's eyes sharpen. You think this is about charity? Everything is about charity, Vincent replies confidently. It always looks good on paper. A woman in the audience mutters, oh my God. Caprio speaks slowly. Mr. Hale, listen carefully. The moment you walked into this courtroom, you believed you were above the law. Vincent raises a brow. Because I can pay. That's not arrogance. That's efficiency. Caprio points at him. No, that is corruption. Vincent laughs. Judge, corruption is a strong word. Not strong enough, Caprio replies. You tried to buy me. You attempted to bribe this court. Twice. And you still don't think you've done anything wrong. Vincent smirks. Because I haven't. Caprio sits back, studying him like a surgeon studying a tumor. Mr. Hale, I'm going to ask you a question, and I expect a real answer. Go ahead. Do you believe your money makes you superior to the people in this room? Vincent smiles. Judge, my money makes me more successful, not superior. But yes, it gives me privileges. Caprio raises an eyebrow. Privileges. Correct, Vincent says. Privileges earned through hard work. And you think one of those privileges, Caprio asks, is the ability to buy your way out of consequences? Vincent shrugs simply. Yes. The courtroom reacts, instantly murmurs, head shakes, gasps. Caprio holds up a hand for silence. Mr. Hale, he says, your privilege ends today. Vincent laughs nervously. Judge, I think you're taking this way too personal. Caprio stands. Slowly, like a storm rising. The room shifts. The air thickens. Take your checkbook, Caprio says quietly, and put it away. Vincent rolls his eyes but complies. All right, it's away. Now let's talk like adults. We've been talking like adults. Caprio replies. You just haven't been listening like one. Vincent tilts his head. Judge, what exactly are you planning to do? Caprio sits back down. I'm about to give you something no one in your life has ever given you. Vincent leans forward, intrigued. And what's that? Caprio's voice is cold. Accountability. Vincent laughs again, trying to hide the unease growing behind his eyes. Judge, I don't think you understand who you're dealing with. Caprio nods once. I understand exactly who I'm dealing with. A man who believes money is a shield. A man who thinks laws are suggestions. A man who has mistaken wealth for wisdom. He pauses. But Mr. Hale, you made one mistake today. Vincent folds his arms. And what's that? Caprio leans forward, voice cutting through the room like steel. You walked into a courtroom that isn't for sale. The room exhales all at once. Vincent tries to speak, but Caprio continues. You nearly killed a child. You tried to buy your freedom. You insulted this court. And worst of all, you feel no remorse. So here's what happens next. He lifts the file again. Mr. Hale, I'm about to impose a punishment no amount of money can erase. Vincent's smile finally disappears. Completely what punishment? Caprio closes the file. The one you deserve. Vincent Hale's confidence is draining. Slowly, like a luxury car losing fuel on a deserted highway, he adjusts his collar, shifts his weight, tries to reclaim that executive posture, but something in the room has shifted. Control has left his side. Judge Caprio rests his hands on the bench. His voice is calm, deadly calm. Mr. Hale, before I deliver my ruling, I want to explain something to you, not for your sake, but for every person watching who believes money can distort justice. Vincent swallows. His jaw tightens. Caprio continues. For decades, people like you have tried to walk into courtrooms with checkbooks instead of accountability. And for decades, courts like this one have taught them the same lesson. Justice cannot be bought. Vincent forces a smile. All right, Judge. Message delivered. Let's move on to the fine. Caprio shakes his head. No, Mr. Hale, we're not even close. The courtroom goes silent again. Caprio lifts the first page. For reckless driving at 78 miles per hour in a pedestrian zone, the statutory fine is $800. Vincent nods casually. Great, I'll pay it. For ignoring 2 citations, an additional $400. Vincent waves a hand. Fine. For failure to yield to a pedestrian with a stroller, the fine is $300. Sure, total so far. Caprio concludes. $1,500. Vincent smirks. Would you like me to pay right now? Caprio closes the file. Those are the fines, but they are not the punishment. Vincent freezes. What do you mean? Fines are the punishment. Caprio shakes his head. Not today. Vincent's voice tightens. Judge, with all due respect. No. Caprio cuts in. With all due respect, Mr. Hale, you nearly killed a child, and then you tried to buy your way out of responsibility. You attempted to bribe this court. Twice. You mocked the victim. You mocked the law. You mocked this entire room. So your punishment will reflect that. Vincent's face flushes. Judge, whatever you're thinking, let's be reasonable. Reasonable. Caprio asks, you want reasonable? He leans forward. Reasonable would be jail time. The courtroom stirs, whispers, gasps, people shifting in their seats. Vincent's eyes widen. Jail for a year. That's insane. For bribery, Caprio clarifies. Not the speeding, not the citations. For the check you slid across that podium like this courtroom was a negotiation table. Vincent grips the podium, knuckles white. Judge, you can't prove. Caprio raises a finger. Miss Gable read his exact words into the record. Miss Gable flips to the transcript. Quote, name your price. Let's not waste time. End quote. Caprio folds his hands. That is bribery, Mr. Hale. Blatant, unmasked, confident bribery. Vincent's voice cracks for the first time. Judge, you don't want to do this. Yes, Caprio says. I do. He continues. Now legally, I could sentence you to 30 days at the ACI for contempt and attempted bribery. And truly, many judges would. Vincent starts shaking his head. No, absolutely not. But jail isn't what you need, Caprio says. Jail is too easy for you. He leans closer. You would sit there thinking about your money, your company, your influence. Jail doesn't humble men like you. It simply inconveniences them. Vincent fumes. So what, then? More fines. Community service. Go ahead. Caprio's eyes narrow. Community service. Yes, but not the kind you think. Vincent waits, breath tight. Caprio begins. First, your driver's license is suspended for 1 full year. Vincent explodes. 1 year. Judge, I travel every day for work. That's impossible. Then hire a driver. Caprio replies. You can afford it. The courtroom chuckles quietly. Vincent glares at them. Caprio continues. Second, you will complete 200 hours of community service. Vincent rolls his eyes. Fine. Specifically, Caprio says, with the Providence Pedestrian Safety Initiative. Vincent blinks. What even is that? It's a department dedicated to preventing exactly the kind of accident you almost caused. You will attend school crossings. You will stand with crossing guards. You will assist pedestrians in high-risk intersections. And you will do it wearing a reflective vest. Rain, snow, heat, whatever the day brings. The courtroom murmurs approvingly. Vincent is horrified. You want me, standing on street corners like some volunteer? Caprio nods. Yes, under supervision, visible to the public, the same public you endangered. Vincent slams a hand on the podium. This is humiliation. Caprio's voice sharpens. No, Mr. Hale. Humiliation is calling a mother dramatic after nearly killing her child. This is education. Vincent stares at him, breathing hard. Caprio continues. Third, you will meet with a mother and offer her a face-to-face apology. For the first time, Vincent looks genuinely afraid. Judge, I don't think that's a good idea. That's because you don't understand accountability, Caprio replies. But you will. Vincent tries to steady himself. And if I refuse, Caprio doesn't blink. Then you go to jail for 30 days. The room falls silent. Vincent swallows hard. Continue the list, Caprio says. Fourth, you will attend a driver responsibility course and submit a 1,000-word reflection on pedestrian safety. Vincent whispers, you're kidding. And finally, Caprio says, you will record a public service announcement. Vincent's head snaps up. A what? Caprio, clarifies. A video, a PSA, where you will explain on camera how your reckless driving could have killed a child. It will be released to the public through the court's official channels. Vincent shakes his head violently. No, absolutely not. No chance. That would ruin my reputation. Caprio tilts his head. Mr. Hale, your reputation is already ruined. What you need now is redemption. Vincent stares at him in disbelief. Caprio signs the order with one decisive stroke. These are the terms, he says. You will complete them all, or you will serve 30 days in jail. No exceptions. Vincent looks around, desperate for support. No one meets his eyes, not even his own attorney. Caprio lifts the file. Do you accept the sentence? Vincent's voice drops to a whisper, Judge. This will destroy my image. Caprio replies calmly. Your image isn't my concern. Your character is. Vincent looks down at his expensive shoes that no longer make him powerful. Slowly, quietly, he nods. I accept. Caprio closes the file. Good, because this courtroom does not bend for wealth. It does not bow to influence. And today, Mr. Hale, you learned that justice is not for sale. The gavel strikes. Next case. 3 months later, footage spreads across Rhode Island. Vincent Hale, Golden Boys CEO, standing in a bright reflective vest, rain pouring over him, holding a stop sign for elementary school children. Parents recognize him. Some give approving nods. Some glare. Some whisper. Every hour of service chips away at the arrogance he carried like armor. He meets the mother. He apologizes with shaking hands. She accepts with tears. His PSA goes viral, not because of mockery, but because of honesty. I thought money protected me. I was wrong. I thought laws were negotiable. I was wrong. I thought my life mattered more than others. I was wrong. People comment, this is how accountability works. Caprio did it again. Money didn't save him. Consequences did. 6 months later, Vincent stands in front of his boardroom, a changed man. Not polished, not arrogant, just human. And for once, that's enough.